actually had to think about that. I was gonna say this. I'm ASMR specs. But this is the Gentle Blitz. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you have had a great weekend. It is Tuesday as I'm recording this. Been lacking a little bit on recording videos. I've been working a lot, so the videos are coming at a slower pace. So I think I'm gonna set like a schedule where maybe I post videos every maybe Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then take Sunday and Monday to record videos. I think that's what I'm gonna do. It might end up being like Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. We'll figure it out, but I want to be as consistent as possible. So that's what I have right now. Tonight, we are going to do a recap of the NFL games. And we're going to do that really quick, by the way. Won my fantasy team. Also, if you've seen my video where I asked if I should trade J.K. Dobbins, I ended up trading him for Michael Pittman. It was a even trade. It was more of me doing a favor for a friend. It seems to be working out for both of us. And yeah, I ended up winning by 8 points, 147 to 1. I won by 6 points, 147 to 141. But yeah, I am probably next week gonna do a fantasy football video where I show you the progress that I've made, the things that I've done. I just haven't had the time to like sit down and do it, but I'm gonna try to do it next week. Maybe like it's not really mid-season yet, but getting there. So tonight we're gonna recap some of the games, well, all the games. I think when I recap, I might just pull up like Bleacher Reports or ESPN's power rankings, and maybe we could talk about the game and whether or not that is what I feel is a good power ranking for that person, or for that team, sorry. Somebody also suggested looking at contenders and those that are not contenders and what they can do to improve their team, so I'm taking that into consideration as well. So without further ado, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, leave a comment down below if you watched the Bills game, because the Bills Jacksonville game was amazing. It was great. But we're gonna get started with the Thursday night game. We have the Rams and the 49ers. The 49ers won in overtime on probably like a blunder of a thing that Sean McVay decided to do, which is go for it in field goal range on 4th and 1, which caused them to lose the game, which is crazy. I mean, it's like one thing when Sean Payton did it in the Eagles game, to like the 2-point conversion, but it's a completely another thing to like be like, if you don't get it, you actually absolutely lose the game. It was crazy. Anyway, the box score: Mac Jones had a game, 33-49, 342, 2 touchdowns. Now, I know the questions with Mac Jones is, should he start over Brock Purdy? I mean, I'm not saying that. There's people that are saying it, but I really just think like, we look at Sam Darnold, we look at Baker Mayfield. Coaching is key here, and Mac Jones is developing under a quarterback coach, like a good offensive-minded coach, and that way next year he can go maybe and true fantasy football player. 12 total tackles and 7 solo tackles. So, and then the Rams weren't awful. They had Matt Stafford was 30 of 47, 389, 3 touchdowns. Kieran Williams had a game, and he is the sole reason I almost lost. 4 carries, 65 yards. Devontae Adams had 5 receptions, 88 yards. Puka Nacua continued his stellar year with 10 receptions, 85 yards, and a touchdown. Tutu Atwell had 2 receptions and 72 yards. And then Kieran. 8 receptions, 66 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Almost lost because of that. Matt Stafford had a fumble and he lost it. Kieran Williams also had a fumble and he lost it, which ultimately probably helped the 49ers a lot more. That game was really great. I enjoyed it. So Sunday I worked in the morning and I got to catch the last half of all of these games, mainly the Eagles game and the Saints game and the Jets game and the Panthers game. So mainly those are the games that I got to see, and then all of the 4 o'clock games I saw. So I didn't get to see the Vikings and the Browns, but it looked like it was a good game. The box scores: Carson Wentz 25 of 34, 236 and a touchdown, and then Cam Akers getting in there for a 32-yard touchdown. It's crazy. Jordan Mason had 13 carries, 52 yards, and a touchdown. I think when Aaron Jones comes back, it'll help a little bit more. Xavier Scott 5 carries for 18 yards. Justin Jefferson had a game, right? 7 receptions, 123, no touchdowns. Jordan Addison 5 receptions, 41 yards, and a touchdown. TJ Hawkinson got on the board, not on the board as touchdowns, but he had 6 receptions for 38 yards. And Josh Oliver 2 receptions, 35 yards, and a touchdown. Xavier Scott and Jordan Mason both fumbled the ball and lost it. Now the Vikings did end up winning. Dylan Gabriel got a start, and as of recording this right now, the Browns have traded Joe Flacco to Cincinnati, which is, I think, good. I think maybe it shows that Deshaun Watson is gonna come back, and then I also think that they have confidence in Dylan Gabriel. So, his quarterback rating was 39, but it doesn't seem like he was awful. Let me know in the comments if I'm wrong. Dylan Gabriel, 19 catches, or 19, he was 19 of 33 for 190 yards, 2 touchdowns. Quinshon Judkins is the starter. He had 23 carries for 110 yards. That's insane. David Njoku, 6 receptions for 67 yards and a touchdown. Isaiah Bond, 2 receptions, 29 yards. Quinshon had 1 reception for 18, and then Harold Bannon had 4 receptions, 13 yards, and a touchdown. I don't really know how that game, how they looked, but I'm thinking they trust Dylan Gabriel enough to get rid of Joe Flacco. I mean, not that Joe Flacco was doing anything crazy, but the Ravens. Oh, sorry, that probably was really loud. The Browns were in deep discussions with the Giants for Jameis Winston, which would have been my dream. Jameis Winston thrown to Chase and Higgins, he would just launch the ball. It'd be crazy. But I guess the Giants at the last second wanted more, and so they're like, no, and they went with Flacco. That's what the Bengals ended up doing that. So the Texans and the Ravens of 44-10. Now, I didn't watch any of that game, but it seems to me that the Ravens have some issues, even with Lamar in their defense is shady in spots, and I think Derrick Henry has regressed. So CJ Stroud, 23 of 27, 244 yards and 4 touchdowns. Nick Chubb had 11 carries with 61 yards and a touchdown. Jackson Dart, 26 of 40, 202 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. Cam Scatterbo, 15 carries, 59 yards, but he also had that fumble. A fumble that was returned for a touchdown and was a little bit of the difference of the game. Theo Johnson got both of the touchdowns from Jackson Dart. Darius Slayton fumbled and lost it. Jackson Dart fumbled and lost it. Cam Scatterbo fumbled and lost it. It seems like the Giants really just kicked themselves in the face. Spencer Rattler, 21 of 31, 225 yards and a touchdown. I mean, Rashid Shaheed had 4 receptions, 114 yards and 1 touchdown. It looks like Kentre Miller, who I also picked up in fantasy, is kind of getting the majority of the carries. I wouldn't be surprised maybe if Alvin Kamara does get traded. It'll be interesting going forward to see what happens. I'm just going to go over that quickly. The Broncos and the Eagles. Now, I came home from work and the Eagles were winning 17-0. The Eagles have issues. They have issues. Bo Nix ended up turning it up. 24 of 39, 242 yards and a touchdown. J.K. Dobbins, 20 carries, 79 yards and a touchdown. He is their back, and I know when I traded him, but it's okay. It's okay. I'm okay with it. Cortland Sutton had 8 receptions for 99 yards. Troy Franklin, 3 receptions for 35 yards. Evan Ingram, 4 receptions, 33 yards, and that touchdown. J.K. Dobbins and Cortland Sutton had the touchdowns then. Where did they get the other touchdown? Hang on. I'm trying to think. Where did they get it? Because that's 14 points. I'll figure it out. I'll remember at some point. So the Eagles, 23. Jalen Hurts was 23 of 38. 280, 2 touchdowns. Saquon, I think they're underusing Saquon this year, and I don't understand why. I don't know if Jalen is a little arrogant right now or what's happening, but I think they're underusing Saquon. 6 carries for 30 yards. You didn't win that way last year. You guys were doing both. Everything was working for you. So I don't know. Devontae, 8 receptions, 114 yards. Saquon, 3 receptions, 58 yards and a touchdown. AJ Brown, 5 receptions, 43 yards. Now they did have an opportunity to win the game on a Hail Mary. It didn't work out. Where did they get that? Oh, hang on. I gotta go. Dang it. I just lost all my stuff. I gotta see where they got that other touchdown. Let's go play by play. The scoring plays. Oh, okay. I understand now. I understand the Broncos in the first quarter had a field goal, and then I understand they went for that 2-point. I forgot about it, even though I mentioned it 10 minutes ago. Okay. And they won with a field goal. It was a good game. I think the Eagles, as good as they are, aren't as good as they were last year. I think their secondary is an issue. Jalen is a little, I'm not saying that he's the issue. I just think sometimes he sees his one read is covered, and then he just pulls it down and runs. And I also think Saquon's being underused. And I know they had a big meeting, so maybe that'll change. The Cowboys over the Jets. I'm not gonna read the stats. The Cowboys were really wholeheartedly in the lead. The 22 points that I saw were basically garbage time points. The game wasn't close. The Colts and the Raiders, also not gonna talk about it, is 40-6. I think, and I'm gonna use 2 hands here. I think the Raiders need to look at Kenny Pickett and say, what do we have here? We traded for you for a reason. Geno Smith is throwing interceptions. He is not doing well here. Over the last, I think 3 games, he's had 7 interceptions. That's crazy. You are not Like, come on. Come on. I mean, I don't know if the interceptions were his fault. You're making Danny Dimes and the Colts look like Peyton Manning's there with the 2005 Colts. I mean, like, it's crazy to me. It's crazy to me. And the Panthers-Dolphins, I only got to see the last 2 minutes of it. Tua was 27 of 36 for 3 touchdowns. Achane was held in check as a runner, but Jalen Waddle, 6 receptions, 110 yards and a touchdown. Darren Waller, 5 receptions, 78 yards and a touchdown. Devon Achane, 6 receptions, 30 yards and a touchdown. Looking good, looking good. The Panthers were just a little bit better. Not really, but, you know, they won. Bryce Young, 9 of 30, 198 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Rico Dowdle, 23 carries, 206 yards and a touchdown. That is insane. That is insane. And then McMillan, 6 receptions and 73 yards. Leggett, 2 receptions, 31 yards. And then Bryce Young fumbled and lost it. I mean, good on Carolina. The Dolphins had that game too. The Buccaneers-Seahawks game literally went down to the last reception. Literally. The defense was non-existent. I watched them go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. I think at one time, nobody had punted in like 10 tries, and there was like a scoring play every time. Up until Sam Darnold threw the interception, and that is the reason the Seahawks lost the game. It was crazy. It was crazy. Okay. Hang on, my phone is... The Commanders-Chargers, I didn't watch it, but the Commanders won 27-10. Amari Hampton went on IR after that game, so we'll see what the Chargers do. Do they look at an Alvin Kamara? Do they look at somebody that... I made a joke, I was like, Adrian Peterson isn't technically retired, they could call him. Do they look at, like, calling people or pulling somebody off the practice squad? It's gonna be interesting. The Lions-Bengals, it really wasn't that close. I mean, it was close, but it really wasn't that close. 37-24, the Lions pretty much had that game. And then the Patriots and the Bills, it was glorious. I watched that game. It was great. I loved it. I do love the Bills. Don't get me wrong. But sometimes you just love an underdog. And the Patriots were the underdog, and they held Josh Allen in check. The other reason I almost lost fantasy football was because Josh Allen's safety blanket is Dalton Kincaid, and he just kept going there. He kept going there. And my phone's gonna like overheat. It's like burning. I don't normally use this phone because it's broken. Drake May was 22 of 30 for 273 yards. Ramondre Stevenson had the 2 touchdowns. He had the 2 touchdowns, and then everything else was a field goal. I'm pretty sure, right? Or like, yeah, field goal. Yeah. I mean, Josh Allen looked not like a superhero. He looked human. He was 22 of 31, 253 yards, 2 touchdowns and an interception, but I also think he had a fumble and he lost it. Keon Coleman also lost the fumble. They had their opportunities to win and they just couldn't do it. And now we get to my favorite game, and I think I even said it in my prediction, like that was the game I was looking forward to. Are the Jaguars good enough? Are they who we think they are? And I think they're exactly who we thought they were. They're good. They're a good team. Trevor Lawrence is a good player. Did you see his last touchdown? interception was an issue. The Jaguars defense looked really good at times in the first half. They looked like they were just gonna get run over, but they stepped it up and they flipped a switch and they said, nope, not tonight. Trevor Lawrence was 18 of 25, 221 yards, and 1 touchdown and 1 interception, but he rushed for 2 touchdowns. He was also the lead back by like 5 yards. He carried it for 10 carries for 54 yards and 2 touchdowns. The last one being the game winner. It was great. Brian Thomas Jr., 4 receptions, 80 yards. Travis Hunter kind of stepped up a little bit. He played a little bit of a role. I mean, their defense is really good, and I just think they're a competent organization now, right? They have the coach, that they want. And Trevor is getting more comfortable in that, and I do believe their coach is a good offensive-minded quarterback coach. So I think that helps. That's gonna help Trevor. Their defensive coordinator was the Packers linebacker coach last year, and he's doing wonders. He's doing, well, not wonders, but like he's making the team better. So I think they're better than what we think they are, right? They're 4-1. The Chiefs are 2-3. Who would have expected that? I wouldn't have expected that, and I also wouldn't have expected Baltimore to be 1-4. That's crazy. But if you didn't watch the Jacksonville game, it was really good. Trevor Lawrence's touchdown, I'm gonna say, is probably one of the best of this season so far. It was great. But yeah, that's what I got for you guys today. NFL predictions, NCAA recap, and predictions coming up, along with maybe an immaculate grid. I really like doing that video. It's a little bit longer than what I normally do, and this video is a little bit longer than what I normally do. But yeah, if you've made it this far, thank you so much. Love you all. Hug your family. I hope you have the best day tomorrow,